y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the Stranger Things book tag. I don't remember who created this tag, but I will leave a link down in the description or up in the cards to the original video. And the way that this book tag works is that there are 8 bookish questions related to the Netflix original series Stranger Things. So if you are not aware of my obsession with Stranger Things, you obviously do not follow me on Twitter, and you should definitely do so, link in the description. But after watching the show all the way through twice in 1 week, like 2 to 3 weeks ago, I got so obsessed, and I've been tweeting about it a lot, and I love this show so much. So when I saw that someone had created a book tag related to Stranger Things, there was no more questioning. I knew I had to do that book tag regardless of what the questions even were. Also, it should be noted that I will try my hardest not to spoil anything about the show, but the nature of these questions is a little spoilery-ish, so if you are sensitive to spoilers and you have not seen the show, also if you just haven't seen the show in general, don't waste your time watching this video of me talking about it. Just go watch Stranger Things, because seriously, it is so good. It is amazing. It's such a good show. I could go on for hours and hours and hours about how good it is, but if you haven't watched it, go watch it instead of watching this video. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the tag. Okay, so question number 1 is The Vanishing of Will Byers. Name a first book in a series that left you intrigued and slightly confused. So for this question, I decided to go with The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I struggled a little bit with this question because I didn't feel like any first books in the series really left me completely confused, but I do feel like some of the things that happen near the end of this book are kind of left up in the air and not explained at all. So it left me kind of feeling like what's going on, what's going to happen next, and like really curious about what is going to come in the next book. So while it didn't leave me confused per se, there were some things that happened near the end of this that were kind of like head scratcher moments, like, whoa, what just happened? What's about to happen? Question number 2 is The Upside Down. Name a book with a setting that you would never want to live in. And for this, I'm going to go with The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. And I chose this one because in almost every single book that has a really horrifying setting, I'm at least intrigued by the society, and it's something that even if I didn't want to live in it, it interests me on like a theoretical level. But this society is just awful. I hate it. It horrifies me, and I would never want to live in it. So in this book, our main character Todd lives in this town called Prentice Town, where there are no women. Everyone is a man, and they can all hear each other's thoughts. And everything about that just kind of sounds super horrifying, and I would never want to live in that society. And it doesn't even like interest me on a, oh, that would be kind of cool even if it was kind of scary. No, this is horrifying. So question number 3 is 11. A book you own that is somewhat damaged but loved to pieces. And for this one, the really obvious pick was All American Girl by Meg Cabot. Nowadays, I try to be super careful with my books and not break the spine, and just to be very, very careful with them and not damage them in any way. But the same cannot be said of Childhood Kristen. And I've had this book ever since I think its paperback release, which was in 2002 or 2003, so this is actually the oldest book that I have on my shelves. The spine is broken in so many places. I actually had to tape this page back in the book because it fell out. Obviously, as you can see, it's all frayed and just generally falling apart. But growing up, before I read Harry Potter, this was my absolute favorite book, and it's still one that holds a very special place in my heart, even though I haven't reread it recently. And so for that reason, it is both pretty damaged but well loved. Question number 4 is Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. Name a trilogy that you go to whenever you need a pick-me-up. I'm not sure about this being a pick-me-up per se, but I mean, why would I not take this chance to plug my favorite trilogy of all time, which is the Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Like I said, this isn't necessarily a pick-me-up for me, but it is just my favorite trilogy of all time, and I love these 3 kids, so I'm totally okay with relating them to this amazing book trilogy. So question number 5 is Demogorgon. Name a book with a terrifying beast you wouldn't want to face in a dark alley. So this one was a little hard for me because I don't typically read books where the villain is some sort of creature or beast that's horrifying, but I took this in a slightly different direction, and I decided to go with The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now, the villain in this book, I can't remember how early it's revealed, so I'm not gonna say who the villain is, but essentially the villain in this book is super creepy and exactly the type of person or creature that you would not want to run into in a dark alley. In fact, that is exactly how you would get into trouble with this creature. So definitely the villain from The Diviners. Question number 6 is Dr. Brenner. Name a book with a villain that is both manipulative and dedicated. And I think the obvious answer here is Queen Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles series. I mean, Queen Lavanna is kind of the definition of both very manipulative and also very dedicated, because she tries to manipulate everyone around her, and she's also super dedicated to everything that she's doing within the series. Question number 7 is Nancy Wheeler. Name a book that you didn't expect to love. And for this question, I am going with Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This was my book stack pick back in March, I believe, and I went into this with some fairly low expectations. I was intrigued, but it had been compared to Harry Potter so many times that I was like, this will never live up to Harry Potter. And as I started it even, it was very reminiscent of Harry Potter, and I was like, how did this fan fiction get published? And then I got about 150 pages into it and I fell in love. So I definitely went into this book with not the highest of expectations and came out of it absolutely loving it. And question number 8 is Hawkins, Indiana. Name a book with a setting that is just a bit strange. And for this one, I chose a book less because of how much I like it and more just because it fits this question so well, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. I did like this book, although it's not my favorite in the world, but the one thing that really stands out about it is its setting. Not only is it set on this very mysterious island, but there are also some added things that I won't spoil if you haven't read the book for some reason at this point, and it's just overall a bit of a peculiar setting. Like I said, not my favorite book that I've ever read. It has 3 out of 5 stars for me, but it definitely fits this question really well. If you have also jumped on the Stranger Things bandwagon, please let me know down in the comments and or on Twitter, because I would love to talk about all things Stranger Things. Like I said, I watched this show twice in 1 week, and after doing this video, I kind of want to watch it again because it's so amazing, and we just got confirmation that season 2 is going to be coming in 2017. So right now my head is so excited about all things Stranger Things, and like I said, I love this show. I would love to talk to you guys more about it down in the comments or on Twitter. Also, I will leave a link either down in the description or up in the cards to the video that Superfruit did parodying Stranger Things called Stranger Fruits, because it is so hilarious and I love Skomish so much, and it's just overall a really awesome video and a nice tribute to Stranger Things, but it is very spoilery, so don't watch it if you haven't seen Stranger Things, although you probably shouldn't be at this point in this video if you haven't seen Stranger Things. As always, I will leave a link down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!